Hello everyone, this is Anuja Avasthi. Today we'll start an anti-war lyric by Bob Dylan, John Brown. John Brown was written in October 1962. Remember, it is a lyric by Bob Dylan. Okay, let's start. John Brown has 51 lines. It consists of 12 verses written in straightforward manner. As you can see, there is no rhyme scheme. Okay, let's start. What happens? There is a young man who leaves his civilian life to dedicate his life to the country. Here is a man, the hero of the poem, John Brown. John Brown went off to war to fight on a foreign shore. John Brown is about to go to a war to fight on a foreign shore. Foreign shore is on an alien land. एक कहीं जाना चाह रहा है, कहीं जाना plan कर रहा है. He's about to go. His mama sure was proud of him. His mama is very proud of him. His mama is very proud of him. He stood straight and tall in his uniform and all. His mama's face broke out all in a grin. Grin means smile broadly. Grin means smile broadly. His mama sure was proud of him. As his mother, John Brown's mother, sees him standing straight and tall in his uniform and all, his mama's face broke out all in a grin. She smiles broadly. She's very glad as she sees her son standing and tall in his uniform and all. She says, "Oh, son, you look so fine. I'm glad you are son of mine." She says, "Son, you look so handsome. I'm very glad you are son of mine. You make me proud to know you hold a gun." And she says, "As I see you, as you are standing like this, you are holding a gun, you make me proud to know. Do what the captain says." And then she instructs, "Son, do whatever the captain says. Lots of medals you will get and we'll put them on the wall when you come home." She says कि जो भी तुम्हारा कैप्टन बोले ना वो सब करना. Lots of medals you will get. और फिर तुम्हें बहुत सारे medals मिलेंगे and we'll put them on the wall when you come home. और हम क्या करेंगे? When you'll come home, we'll decorate them on the wall. जब तुम वापस आओगे हम वो सारे medals जो हैं वो ड्राइंग रूम में और walls में डेकोरेट करेंगे. As the old train pulled out, John's mom began to shout. And as the train arrives, what happens? She began to shout. Con, John's mom. John's mom began to shout, telling everyone in the neighborhood, "That's my son, that's about to go. He's a soldier now, And she started boasting. She started bragging. क्या किया उसने? चिल्लाना शुरू कर दिया, सबको बताना शुरू कर दिया, telling everyone in the neighborhood, "That's my son, that's about to go. He's a soldier now, क्योंकि उसके लिए ये बहुत प्राउड है वो. His mother sends him with head held high with honor, right? कोई डर नहीं है उसके मन में, कोई किसी तरह का कोई फ्रस्ट्रेशन नहीं है, कोई नर्वसनेस नहीं है, कुछ नहीं. शी इज़ वेरी प्राउड एंड ग्लैड. What happens? She's bragging, "That's my son, that's about to go. He's a soldier now, She made well sure her neighbors understood. And she made well sure, she's more bothered about the medals to hang them on the walls to show off. She's more bothered about to show off everything. She's more bothered about to show off that her son is a soldier. Her son is going on an alien land. Her son is going on a foreign shore for a fight, for a war, right? तो उसकी मदर को बिल्कुल कोई भी परेशानी नहीं है कि उसका बेटा जो है वो एक वॉर के लिए जा रहा है, उसमें वो भी इंजोर हो सकता है, वो भी उसको भी कोई प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. इन सब बातों से उसकी मदर को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. वाई? बिकॉज सभी के लिए जो वॉर पे जाना है, जो बैटल पे जाना है, वो एक ग्लोरियस डीड है, एक कह सकते हैं एक बहुत बड़ा इंथुजियास्टिक थिंग है, एक रेपुटेशन वाली बात है. शी गॉट अ लेटर वंस इन अ वाइल एंड हर फेस ब्रोक इनटू अ स्माइल. एंड जस्ट सी द आयरनी. व्हाट हैपन्स कि भेज तो दिया जॉन ब्राउन को उसकी मदर ने बहुत खुश होकर के. शी grinned actually. She sent her son on a war, but she got a letter once in a while and her face broke into a smile. कभी कभी उसको लेटर मिलता था and her face broke into a smile. वो जब भी लेटर मिलता था उसको, her face broke into a smile. एक स्माइल आ जाती थी फेस पे उसकी मदर के. as she showed them to the people from next door. But she didn't stop bragging. जैसे ही जब कभी भी लेटर मिलता था, she showed them to the people from next door. Next door means to the neighbors. सारे neighbors को वो letters दिखाती थी जाके, and she bragged about her son with his uniform and gun. सबको बताया, सबको ये बताया कि हर सन विद हिज यूनिफॉर्म एंड गन, कि उसका जो बेटा है वो एक वॉर पे गया है, एक यूनिफॉर्म पहन करके कितना हैंडसम लग रहा था. शी वॉज होल्डिंग ही वॉज होल्डिंग अ गन लाइक दैट. Everything she bragged about her son. And these things you called a good old fashioned war. And you know what? Here is an irony, the poet mocks actually. The poet says that people always remain the same to claim victory over another, no? Not realizing the obvious losses on the victorious side. The poet says the glamour and the glory, it is now out of date. अब किसी काम का नहीं है ये जो वॉर है आपका. It is old fashioned now. And this is only the war, you call it good. Poet actually mocks about this. And then the letters cease to come. And here what happens, John Brown, क्या कभी कभी तो लेटर्स पहले आ भी जाया करते थे, फिर एक टाइम आया जब the letters ceased to come. For a long time they didn't come. They ceased to come for about 10 months or more. 10 months तक his mother actually didn't receive any letter. Then a letter finally came saying go down and meet the train. Then what happens? Letter finally came saying go down and meet the train. एक दिन एक लेटर आया जिसमें लिखा था go down and meet the train. Go to the station. Go to the platform. Your son's coming home from the war. And it was written that your son's coming home from the war. It was not written that Ma, I'm coming from the war. It means that it was being written by someone else, not by John Brown. She smiled and went right down. She looked everywhere around because she was expecting that her son must be standing straight and tall in his uniform and holding a gun like that only. But she could not see her soldier's son in sight. कहीं नहीं दिखाई दिया उसको अपना बेटा. But as all the people passed, she saw her son at last. सारे लोग जब चले गए तब उसको अपना बेटा दिखाई दिया. When she did, she could hardly believe her eyes. उसको विश्वास नहीं हो रहा था अपनी आईज पे कि यही है उसका सन, जो कि जब भेजा था उसने उसको तो he was standing straight and tall. And here what happens? Oh, his face was all shot up and his hand was all blown off. फेस उसका पूरा बुरी तरह से खराब हो गया था. His hand was all blown off and he wore a metal brace around his waist. He wore a metal brace around his waist. Means metal brace is a kind of device, to support part of the body. तो metal उसका face was all mangled, and hands were blown off. And he was wearing a metal brace. Metal brace means to support something, any part of the body. He whispered kind of slow. He whispered means even he was unable to speak in a voice she did not know. Means this voice his mother was not expecting, कि उसका बेटा इस आवाज़ में भी इतना स्लो इस तरह से भी बोल सकता है. क्योंकि वो जिस सन को इमेजिन कर रही थी वो तो बहुत ब्रेव, courageous, टॉल, हैंडसम ऐसा था. while she couldn't even recognize his face. अब आफ्टर द वॉर जब वो आया है वापस, शी यानी उसकी खुद मदर, John Brown's mother was unable to recognize John Brown's face. Oh Lord, not even recognize his face. And you know what? There are three single lines. Three single lines. First one was, oh good old fashioned war. And this is the second line, Lord, not even recognize his face. It describes the terrible fate after surviving war. Right? And here The mother had to turn her face away, seeing the worst bruised condition of her son. She says, "Oh, tell me." When she turned her face, no, she was unable to see her son. She says, "Oh, tell me, my darling son, pray tell me what they done. Please tell me क्या हुआ, क्या किसने तुम्हारे साथ क्या किया है, कैसे हो गया, how is it you come to be this way? ऐसे कैसे हो गए तुम? He tried his best to talk but his mouth could hardly move. बहुत कोशिश की उसने बोलने की, but his mouth could hardly move, and the mother had to turn her face away. Don't you remember, Ma, when I went off to war? You thought it was the best thing I could do. You know what? Yeah, he expresses, he tries, though he is unable to speak, but yeah, he tries to speak something. He says, "Don't you remember, माँ आपको याद नहीं है when I went off to war, जब मैं गया था war के लिए, you thought it was the best thing I could do." आपको लगता था कि war पे जाना is the most glorious thing, is the most prestigious thing. But I was on the battleground, you were home acting proud. लेकिन बैटल ग्राउंड में मैं था, यू वर होम एक्टिंग प्राउड. आप घर में थी, यू वर सिटिंग इन योर ड्राइंग रूम एंड यू वर जस्ट ब्रैगिंग, यू वर जस्ट showing my letters and showing your happiness to the neighbors. You wasn't there standing in my shoes. You were not in my place. In my shoes means you were not in my place. You know what? The idea of war, which was once a matter of pride for John, suddenly changed during the war itself. There he felt that the soldier with whom he is fighting with an intention to kill him is not actually an enemy. You know what happens when he says, "Oh, and I thought when I was there, God, what I'm doing here." He says, "Oh, and I thought when I was there, जब मैं वहाँ था, God, what I am doing here." उसको realize हुआ कि मैं यहाँ क्या कर रहा हूँ. I am trying to kill somebody or die trying. मैं किसी को मारने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ और I am trying to die. But the thing that scared me most was when my enemy came close and I saw that his face looked just like mine. He says with whom he was fighting with an intention to kill was not actually an enemy. Rather, the man on the other side is also stuck in the same fix as he is. Means वो भी एक सोल्जर है जो किसी के ऑर्डर्स को फॉलो करने आया है. As his mother said, follow the commands of your captain and you will get a lot of medals and we will decorate them in the walls. तो जॉन ब्राउन इज सेइंग कि हाँ, मेरे सामने जो एनिमी खड़ा हुआ था वो भी मुझे रियलाइज़ हुआ एंड आई सॉ दैट हिज फेस लुक जस्ट लाइक माइन. कोई डरावना फेस नहीं है. हम टेररिस्ट को हम कैसे इमेजिन करते हैं कि कोई बहुत हॉरिबल फेस होगा, बट जिन्हें हम टेररिस्ट कह रहे हैं वो अपने कंट्री के लिए क्या हैं? दे आर द मार्टियर्स, दे आर द सोल्जर्स. Oh Lord, just like mine. And what happens? Then John Brown realizes that they are the victims. They are slaughtered at the altar of war. You know what? This passage is the message that people forget the wrath of war and they go against their brothers. And in the next para, and I couldn't help but think through the thunder rolling and stink. John Brown is saying I couldn't help but think. बोल रहा है कि मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाया. मैंने जैसे ही अपने एनिमी को अपने सामने देखा, I started thinking through the thunder rolling and stink. Stink means unpleasant smell. Why unpleasant smell? Because there must be rotting bodies, you know. The thunder rolling means there were a lot of explosions and the sounds of the guns and the unpleasant smells of the rotten bodies. Then I realized in सब के बीच में when I saw my enemy in front of me and I realized that I was just a puppet in a play. And through the roar and smoke through the roar and smoke means amidst of the explosion sounds and the smoke, this string is finally broke. String means the continuity of my thoughts. जो मैं सोच रहा था कि मैं एक puppet हूँ, why what am I doing here, for what I have come here, ये जो मेरा string था thoughts का, it finally broke and a cannonball blew my eyes away. And a cannonball blew my eyes away. It shows that even the soldier became blind. As he turned away to walk, his ma was still in shock. John Brown tried to walk. John Brown turned away to walk, but his mother was still in shock at seeing the metal brace that helped him stand, because she was the only mother that saw. She was the only mother who saw her son was standing straight and tall in his uniform. But now her son needs a metal brace to stand. But as he turned to go, he called his mother close. But as he turned to go means he was about to leave, but soon he realized that for what he went on a war. Soon he realized that his mother sent him on a war. Why? For the medals. Because his mother instructed, follow the commands of your captains and you will get a lot of medals, and we'll decorate that medals on the walls when you will return. So soon he realized that he is supposed to give that medals to his mother. But as he turned to go, he called his mother close and he dropped his medals down into her hand. You know what? People consider soldiers to be brave, prestigious, and reputable members to the society. And you know what? Their families of the soldiers are enthusiastic to send their soldiers to war, which is no less than a blessing in the guise of honor. Usually, people are optimistic about wars, which is why they don't understand the true conditions of war. By the end of the lyric, the readers come to a conclusion that medals are easy to win, but the losses of family and emotions are hard to overcome. Right? Because John Brown's mother doesn't realize the true meaning of war. She doesn't understand the possibility of injury to her son, but only sees medals and glory. The lyric describes essential feelings in and around the life of a soldier. And the title of the poem is named after the soldier, probably because his life is a lesson to the people and wants them to realize the harm of war by emphasizing on the life of a soldier. Right? This was the poem John Brown by Bob Dylan. I hope you have understood well. If any query, any problem, just message me. I will do. Okay. So now what happens? You are supposed to send me the answers of the questions that I will send you. Okay. Take care.